Welcome everyone to our live stream here on Lichess and Twitch. I'm International Master Slaggy. What's up, Masturbate, Mubot? The usual suspects are here. We are taking rapid challenges. 7+5 minimum. 7+3 is too fast. It's too much like Blitz. We have to at least have the 5-second increment in place. So this is the minimum. 7+5, 10+. Ambulance, yes. First class players lose to second class players because second class players sometimes play. That's deep, man. That's really deep. Did he really write that down? I don't know, man. Alright. We are ready to go. Challenges are welcome. Yesterday's tournament, let's check it out. Join our team, Pawn and Horses Club. 574 members now. The slow rolling rapid. Yesterday, Sparkle Horse first with an unimpressive string of games. Move 11 second, impressive. Let's see how he did. He had himself a bye. He beat Bisonov. He beat Stavvargen of that game, the Stonewall. He drew, of course, with Uber Driver. Let's see the last round game between Uber Driver and Move 11. I mean, Excel Poker and Move 11. This was the battle for second place in yesterday's tournament. It doesn't say the names of the players. Alright, Excel Poker versus Move 11. Ah. So it was Accelerated Dragon. Oh, okay, main line. Rookie 8. So now I face different moves here. Castles. Asteroid, you would play A6 in this position, right? Maybe not. It's a castle. It's like a Yugoslav attack with kingside castling after F3. Someone actually played Rook E1 here. So this guy's a good player. Ukrainian Grandmaster Solodovnichenko. Allowing knight g4 and playing knight takes c6, b takes c6, bishop g5. Interesting. So f3, knight a5, exactly. It was kind of an equal position. Maybe white is a little better. I think white should consider trading bishops at some point. Oh man, wow. That was the game? Oh my god. So, Excel Poker was just better. Wow. Oh, he just took a free pawn. Maybe that was a mistake, but what's the other option? To go here? I guess it's not enough. These double pawns are... It's a nice shot by Excel Poker, but it's probably only equal, it looks like. Nice try. He almost got him. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen d7 here. Hey, black's okay. And this should be a draw. But white's king is a little more open. Alright, we finally got a challenge. Learning chess. LC. Alright, guys, it's Slow Wednesday. For some reason, Wednesday is always the worst day. I guess Tuesday is a popular chess night and everyone has a chess hangover on Wednesdays. At the bottom of the coffee cup is the coffee sludge. This is 7 plus 5. Tomorrow night we have a subscriber stream. If you are a subscriber, please consider submitting a game. I have around 5 games for tomorrow night. We'll need a total of 10. Astrobate, did I get it? I didn't get a game from you, right? Bad opening by black here. Not a fan of this. Learning chess seems to play bad things on purpose. Last time they played like G3, King G2 for no reason. In the previous. Who is this mysterious learning chess? Learning chess, who are you? Aronian. Peter Heine Nielsen, strangely, is the only game I know of where this has been played on a high level. And not the only instance I've seen where Peter Heine, who's like one of the world's leading opening experts, like decided to play something like very stupid. Yesterday I was looking, I saw another one where he played the St. George against a good player. If you're one of the world's leading experts in openings, don't play offbeat openings against 2800s. Not really the best idea. Learning chess 6. Cooking rook snow. Chef Master played this with black against me multiple times. It's not a real opening. It's pretending to play the Scandinavian. I'm not sure F3 is good though. It may be too slow. It's probably too slow. I decided to try something unorthodox. I'm so bored with like bishop d2. This is such a lame move, you know? Doesn't seem like our esteemed opponent is really thinking about his moves. He just moves quickly. I mean, I think there you've got to play e5 for lack of a better plan. If you want to be really creative, maybe b5, but something active anyway. Like, you have to act quickly. I mean, I've played f3, so in order to counteract that, you have to try to take advantage of the fact that my king is in the center. Knight bd7 is way too passive. Now I have, I would say, a large advantage, like a very good Slav. I mean, still e5 is possible. I have e5, e6, sacking a pawn, but I don't think so. So what do we do? What do we do about e5? I mean, that's something that really bugs me. Could play bishop f4. He'll just play e5 anyway. I take it, he takes with the knight. I mean, now I have a little trouble getting my pieces out. White is better. But how much better, you know? Trouble getting the pieces out. e5. You found it now. Camel X. Or I could always play king f2 and get out of the pin. I don't understand learning chess. I guess it's just a kid, and they move super fast without thinking because they like to play bullet chess. 10,000 games. Yeah, this is the problem. Stop playing bullet chess. Trust me. You'll get better. You gotta stop playing bullet chess. It's like a drug addiction. Lots of options here. Just for example, my advantage is not going to dissipate necessarily because the queens are off the board. This pawn is just too strong. But it is a lasting advantage. Objectively, I should probably not trade queens with more space, but because my opponent is playing for time as their primary goal, I feel more comfortable playing an ending where I'm just much stronger. Now they can play queen c7. Probably they should play queen c7. Although black has less space, I mean, queen takes queen is actually a good move for black in a sense that black has less space, so trading pieces should be the right idea. I don't know. Either you take or you play queen c7. Queen d8 is a bit weird, but maybe the queen is better placed on e7 than c7. Clearly, this is kind of dangerous for black, I would say. I'm not going to castle queenside. I could, but I don't like those pawns like storming against my king over there. I have less king safety, more pawns on the other side. It's bullet chess. It's a bullet chess player. 100%. This is the problem with bullet chess. It just promotes playing chess without thinking. Black just plays quickly for time without really, using critical thought. Just reacting. It's really irritating when I try to play a longer time controls and people insist on trying to play super fast. Like that's the primary objective. In retrospect, maybe I should have castled queenside after all. White has a clear advantage. Anyway. This is very bad. Who is this player learning chess? Knight h5, wow. They're 0-20 against me and they're like hyper aggressive. Can you explain that psychologically? Anybody? How can you be 0-20 against someone and play like hyper aggressively against them? Is that rational? Like seriously? It just seems strange to me. Although a lot of the games, to be fair, were suspiciously close. Wow, look at these moves. Maybe today's the day he's not 0-20. I think it's like human nature to become more defensive when you're beaten down a lot. F4. Then he takes F4, bishop F4, bishop F4, pawn F4, queen F4. He's got a minute more than me. He's insanely aggressive. And he's 0-20 theoretically. Although a lot of those games, like, my opponent had good positions. So it wasn't like I crushed him 20 games in a row. That's not how it happened. Yeah, I mean, my king has to go to e3 or knight f3. After all that, he didn't sacrifice on f4, but I don't think it works. That's the problem, Camel X. I mean, he calculated that it didn't work. That was like the longest he ever thought on a move. Of course it doesn't work. I wouldn't have played it if I didn't calculate. As far as I could see, it doesn't work. Yeah, it's funny. He's smart enough to see that and actually took the time to calculate. Man, it's a crazy game. It seems like one thing that I noticed with this opponent, their number one priority is to have more time than me. It doesn't matter how bad their position is or how. It's very apparent that the only thing they care about is having more time. They will never ever let the clock go, where it's like he has less time than me. But the problem with Black is if you look at their games, they've played 243 classical games, 648 rapid, 1,000 blitz, and 10,000 bullet games. That's the problem. You've played 10 times as much. I realize like bullet are faster, but still, like 10 times as much. I mean, it just makes you play trash chess. You gotta stop playing bullet. I mean, it's okay if you play 10,000 blitz games too, but if mostly you play bullet, it's a bad sign. Now you're gonna play like it's bullet chess in classical and rapid. And Black's playing a very superficial style. It's only about surface tactics and moving fast. I just get annoyed when people are primarily playing for time. That's what I'm trying to avoid by not playing blitz chess. This is the minimum. 7+5. I don't want the games to be decided by the clock. And yet I still end up there. With opponents who are trying to decide the game with the clock. He's actually gone below my time now, which is surprising. He must have heard me talking and decided to take more time. But now the position is very difficult for Black. Still, he's surprisingly resilient. Look at these tricks and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to know who this is, this player. Is it a player who I've played under a different account? He played bishop takes f5, but I wonder if it was better to play bishop g4, ironically. Probably it was. It's pretty funny. He ends up getting his queen trapped. One of the most surprising things is that I'm actually 21-0 against this player, which is strange. Yeah, they have quite a few games, but mostly bullet, and it's 10,000 bullet games. How long does it take to play 10,000 bullet games, by the way? 20,000 minutes. Let's see, average bullet game 1 minute, 2 minutes per game. That would be 40,000, no, 20,000 minutes. How many days is 20,000 minutes? How many minutes are in a day? 60 times 12, 24. I don't know. He's not giving up. You see, that's the other thing. Anyone who plays like classical chess would resign here, but he can't resign because all he does is like play bullet all the time. I'm just hating on the bullet today, but it's irritating. I want to play classical chess and my opponent pretends it's bullet. I'm trying to tell you to stop doing this. Black clearly has talent, you know, but the bullet needs to stop. Maybe for a while in the beginning it makes you like, you know, familiar with the pieces and you can move quickly and stuff like that. But then at some point you should just stop playing bullet. You know, you've gotten what you could out of it. Stop playing bullet and start playing real chess. This dude will not resign. Brutal. Yeah, Universitate Cluj. 14 days? Nice. 14 days of bullet. Bullet. The ambulances have been very popular lately. My rook is kind of awkwardly placed here, would you say? Not as bad as his knight, though. It's pretty funny. Man, I don't know, dude. foregone conclusion. You see, again, like if you weren't playing bullet chess primarily, you would resign here. But because there's always a chance to win in bullet chess with like no, on time or whatever, he's down a queen and won't resign. Missing the point. Thank you for the gift sub. Sick puppy. Chess for Field 2 got a gift sub. New to the stream. Astrobate's got a game for tomorrow night's stream. Alright, I feel like... Man, that was a weird game, huh? This opening. Are you serious with this? This is such a bad opening. But it's not that easy to refute. I mentioned the Aronian Peter Heine Nielsen game. It's like, what are you thinking? Look who else played this. Vincent Kamer. Dude, seriously? I don't know what that kid's deal is, but why would you play that against Kovalenko? Johnny Hector, of course. Anyway. Alright. It's not the Scandinavian, man. This is not the Scandinavian. So we played a 7+5 game, and I managed to have 53 CPL. That's horrible. My opponent made 8 inaccuracies, no mistakes, 3 blunders. I made 4 inaccuracies, 3 mistakes, 1 blunder. This is a horrible game. I mean, that's worse than most, 3-0 games. Definitely worse than the average 5-0 game. What am I supposed to play here? The boring bishop d2. I mean, that move is just not... I am not enthusiastic about playing that. I'm sorry. What did Heine Nielsen do? He played c6? Oh, Aronian didn't play d4 right away. Now this is interesting. So Levon didn't rush to play d4. But I mean, okay. What did Black play? e5? Yeah. So basically Levon didn't really test this critically either. Wow, look at this position. He played g3 here, just turning it into an English. This literally turned it into an English. And Levon would played the English a lot, especially reverse dragons and stuff like that, since he was a kid. But look at this move, e4. So you turned it into an e4, e5 opening. That's the best move according to the engine. I mean, Black doesn't have to play e5, but okay, let's say he just does knight f6. Now what do we do? Macheya versus Deepak Aron. I don't understand these people that play these stupid openings against really strong players. It seems like it would be a good opening to play against a weak player, not a good opening to play against a really strong player. Sots. Chess for Feel. Welcome for the gift sub from Universitate Cluj. Guys heard the ambulance. Ambulance is very prevalent now. I don't know what's going on here. Or the sound just carries more in the summertime, I guess. Okay. I played one of these yesterday. I'm really tired of playing the Sicilian in e4, e5 because it seems like everyone's really well prepared for those openings. This is not a good opening objectively, but it's generally leading to a situation where the opponents don't really feel comfortable with what they're doing. if you look at the opening explorer on Lichess, the master opening explorer, it's interesting that I think of all the openings, the Nimzovich has the best score. Coincidence? I think not. If I play knight b4, it turns into like a weird Alyakin. But it's a lot, it's not because the opening's good, it's because people don't take the time to learn it. That's why the results are good with it. Alright, we only live once. Let's try it. It's going to be an interesting game. Will there even be any games from this position in the history of Master Chess? That's the question that everybody's wondering about. And I would give consideration to pawn takes pawn. Thanks, Sots, for challenging me to 10 plus 5. Is this 10 plus 3? 10 plus 5. Gives us more time to talk about the game. 7 plus feels rushed. Astrobate, I'm glad you're alright. Well, Magnus has played almost everything. I mean, yesterday, I analyzed my St. George defense from the tournament last night against Zen Chess, and of course, like, after 7 moves, like, there's a Carlsen game playing the black side of the St. George. He's played almost every kind of like offbeat, hypermodern thing. I don't know about Hikaru, but Magnus has a very wide variety of openings that he's played. Okay, anyway, here's the current position. Where pawn takes is interesting. Magnus played the Alyakin with knight g8, he's played the St. George, he's played all kinds of weird stuff like g6, knight f6, knight h5. He has an extremely wide variety of positions, that he can play. I think Magnus is way more flexible than Hikaru in terms of openings. He can play virtually any opening. He's almost like Ivanchuk, who's probably the most capable of playing literally any opening. It seems like Hikaru was more sticking to a repertoire at a given time, than Magnus. Very flexible. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm playing g6. But why is black's score with knight c6 on move 1 better? It's like better than any other opening move. First of all, the sample size is smaller, I mean, if you had as many games with knight c6 as e5 or c5, it wouldn't be a surprise anymore, so people would do better. But it's for an offbeat opening, it's not bad. That's why I started trying to play it. I've experimented with one knight c6 since like the 90s. Well, I don't know, let's say 2000. I've had games since like the late 90s, maybe 99, where I've experimented with playing one knight c6. But white consistently doesn't have like a really setup against it, At every level, I feel like players I encounter, they just kind of have to figure out what to do over the board. And some people do better than others, but still. And it's really not that bad. I'm trying to think how many people have actually played the Nimzovich against me. Really just a few. I haven't played e4 that much. It's probably my least frequent opening first move. I played c4, knight f3, d4 a lot more. g3 occasionally. So Sots turns it into a King's Indian, or we turn it into a King's Indian. It reminds me of the English defense with knight b4. Thanks, Schnitzel. I don't know, I haven't been sleeping well after the late night streams, after my night streams, so the morning streams are usually kind of, I feel like I have a hangover. I don't have a lot of high energy in these morning streams. Well, that's another thing, Dr. Tripchance. I like to play d6 on move 2. Again, it's a Miles influence. That's why I play the St. George, too, because of Tony Miles. Oh, yesterday I noticed a funny thing. When I was analyzing my Nimzovich with Zen Chess, or... No, it was St. George. When I analyzed my St. George with Zen Chess after the game, I realized I had a game with Erdos Victor in 2004 that I totally forgot about. I always am like, oh, I've only ever played this against Josh Friedel among strong players. And I completely spaced on this game I had with Victor in 2004. I still, it just totally evaded my memory. I drew, but I was like kind of tortured. Like, Erdos tortured me for like 9,500 moves in a pawn-up ending, and I drew. It was stupid, I was fine, but I sacked a pawn, and he could just like torture me. But it's funny that I played the St. George, and I completely forgot about that. It's like the best player I ever played the St. George against, and it just totally went out of my mind. I don't think I've ever played the St. George against a Grandmaster when they were a Grandmaster. I played it against Friedel and I lost. I drew with Erdos, and I have like 3 wins against WGMs. The Nimzovich I haven't scored as well with. I haven't played as much. Actually, maybe I have some wins. But the Nimzovich is way better than the St. George. You're still too late. So look what he did here. He did bishop e3. After b3, bishop e3, bishop d4. That was a smart move. You know, I was really hoping for like d takes c. I don't think this would be good though. After d takes c, you can play knight takes e4. But the more I think about it, the less I like it. It looks like he might have a strong exchange sack. Like, takes, knight takes, bishop takes a1 with like compensation for white. I'm just asking for trouble there. White's very solid here. Love JBTV, am I still too late? Still too late? No. No, not today. I was late. I started 15 minutes late. We've got an hour and 15 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes. So I played the Nimzovich and I ended up with the black side of Marazzi. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't play the Nimzovich so I could play the black side of Marazzi bind. Are you serious? That's really lame. That's really disappointing. Wow. Yeah, how did this happen? How did he get a Marazzi? I shouldn't have played c5, maybe. What else am I going to do there, though? I wanted to get some share of the center. White's just better. It's like one of those Mora declined positions. Not as bad though, you know, I've traded a set of pieces here. If you think about it, not happy about that. I miscalculated this. Oh man, I thought I had something. That's not really great. Sot's getting real technical with me today. Taking no risks. Oh man, what am I gonna do? Bishop b7. Knight t5 is horrible. I could play e5, then he takes on f6. Wonder how bad it is. Wonder how bad it is. Is it that bad? I mean, just bishop e3 also. So what if I do bishop e7, knight f6, bishop f6, bishop f6, pawn f6, rook d1, rook e8. Draw? I'm just trying to draw. This is a bad position. I just feel demoralized. All the other options were bad. I mean, knight d5 is maybe the best, objectively. But I still didn't like it. He could take on g7 or play e takes d. White has virtually no losing chances. For a draw. I had this weird hallucination that I could just play e6 here. Knight f6, bishop f6, bishop f6, queen f6. And like in my mind, my bishop's already on b7, so when he takes on d6, I'm like taking on e4 and everything's fine. Bishop a6, nah. But then I realized, oh, if I play e6, I just drop my d6 pawn, and I'm just a clear pawn down with no compensation. I guess there might be a little compensation, but it's not enough. So, the question is, which way do I take on f6, I think? With the bishop or with the pawn? My first thought was to take with the pawn, but I'm thinking maybe knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook d1, rook e8, rook e1. You know, even though I have an awful structure, I kind of doubt White's winning. I'm willing to take draws more than most players. Like I treat chess as a tournament. Chess was always my thing, so you know, I'm thinking in terms of rating traditionally. I'd rather draw than lose. It depends on who you're playing. If I'm playing someone really low rated, I have to like try to win, you know. So now he does rook d1, but can I just play e6? You see, this is a different story. Now this was the original position that I hallucinated I could get to. I mean, it's not exciting under any circumstances. White has played very solid style. There's challenges. 7 plus 5 minimum. 7 plus 5, 10, 8, plus 3, plus 5. Anything in that range. I only have time for like 4 or 5 games though. So I've got 3 challenges, maybe like 1 more. I get a lot of games against lower rated players who like drift in the end games that should be drawn. Yesterday I won against Zen Chess in our Tuesday tournament, like a drawn ending where he just kind of started drifting. So any pressure he has here is sort of counteracted by my pressure on e4. I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at the dynamic, move 4, I'm taking out his bishop, right? So the whole game is like, the story of this game, that's the backstory of this game. That bishop versus that knight. Bruh! Your bullet rating doesn't matter. Bullet is not chess. Love JBTV. We don't talk about bullet chess here. Bruh, is anyone in the chat? It's Wednesday, B-Jack. Wednesday is the least chess stream friendly day, in my opinion. For some reason. I mean, can we claim that black is better now? Dr. Trip Chance is here. Asterby was here earlier. Love JBTV. Chess for Field got a gift sub. There was someone else. Flame Rider. Thud Schnitzel. That's a strong knight on e5, but what? But? And rook d8. So there's a simple fork. Queen d8. Queen d8 doesn't look great. There's queen g5. Queen g5, f3. Rook fd8 maybe? I gotta watch my f7 square. Queen d8. He'll play like queen b4. Queen c7. Queen d8 knight. Ooh, queen d8 knight d7 looks disturbing as well. Rook d8 knight d7. Also not crazy about that. This actually looks quite critical for black. I'm on the verge of losing. Maybe rook fd8 isn't such a bad idea. Rook fd8. Queen c7. I don't know. We're in trouble here. Out of nowhere, this 95. Looks like a mistake, 95. Man, I wish it were. Why? I don't see how queen g5 does anything. You think it's a mistake? Well, I'm terrified. Feels winning. He's got knight d7 here. Funny position. Jeez. Jeez Louise. I can't live with that. I'm just lost. I don't think it mattered which rook I used. I had problems either way. It was just a different problem. Damn, dude. Wow. Just like crushed me. The ambulance theme. I really like... I'm like, dude, it's like playing God. Totally lost. He's like perfect. Fuck. Oh my god. Soapless. Was this like a perfect game by White? Do you think? Two inaccuracies, 21 CPL. My god, dude. What is the deal with this game? Wow. It's like I'm just lost after the move knight e5. That's crazy. That's seriously crazy, dude. I'm lost after knight e5. A B player. And you play 21 CPL with two inaccuracies, perfect game. Black is lost after knight e5. There's no defense. I like even Universitate Cluj thought it was a mistake. I mean, this is unbelievable. 21 CPL isn't that perfect. I mean, there's a lot of times when you see like 10, 11, 12. You know, so still. But given how fast he played, brutal. Knight b4 has been played before. My engine doesn't work or what? Why do I have no engine? I have to what? Just like lose a pawn? I should have played knight g4. But it's still not that convincing. I hate it when my engine doesn't work on my phone and I'm trying to analyze the game on the phone. Dude, this is just... I had to play e5. It's horrible for black. Wow. That's pretty brutal, dude. I just have to like resign here, be down a pawn for nothing. Can't believe that just like, you can just do that and I have to resign. That's pretty unbelievable. And as I said, it doesn't matter like what rook I play. I'm just lost in this position. It doesn't seem even fair. He doesn't do it. He didn't do anything. He has like a knight on e5, and what? Why should I be lost in this position? That's crazy. Man. That was a brutal game. Yeah, it looks like my internet is funky. Actually, last night... Was it last night? No. No, 2 nights ago, my internet was going out. But how's our ping here? Oh, it looks good now. Server. I like how the server is always perfect. Well, that's the first game I've lost in a while. Can't say that's easy to see, to be honest. I never would have realized like giving up the e4 pawn would be winning for white. No. Not the Moore Gambit. You're not allowed to play that. You're not allowed to play that. Well, let's do this. We'll transfer to the Danish. It's not a Danish, but I guess it could become a Danish, like later, huh? So what do we get here? What is this? Seriously. Knight f6. c4. Mule Skinner, you have a submission for tonight? I think it's better just take the pawn. Yeah, tomorrow night. Whatever. It's morning. I'm out of it. Tomorrow night. Yeah, tomorrow night is our subscriber stream. I'm sorry. It's morning. 12 in the afternoon is morning for me. I didn't sleep well, as usual. Last night it was like raining. We had like a thunderstorm between like 3 and 7 a.m. That's the best. When your favorite time to sleep is like thunderstorm between 3 and 7 a.m. Now it's beautiful. The only time I sleep is between like 3 and 7 a.m. 3 and 8, 3 and 9. And then there's a thunderstorm. That was great. This is like the quintessential Caro-Kann. Panov. Queen's Gambit accepted. So I don't know. Like maybe Black should play like a Scandi here with Queen A5. But objectively, I don't know. Queen D6 also possible. Doesn't feel quite right to me in this extra open position. But you could probably get away with trying it. I don't play this, so I'm a little bit concerned. But I remember once thinking, like, it's playable for black. Like, you can play this. You can play, like, what? Against the Panov. Like this. Just queen takes d5, queen d8, e6. It's just not very exciting. I mean, we have our bishop blocked in. It's a Steinitz Queen's Gambit accepted, I guess. Passive. I don't like losing. I just got crushed by that move, knight e5. You know, chess is usually fair, but that position didn't seem fair to me. Does anyone else have the same impression? Like, I don't think I deserve to have a lost position. Based on why is my position lost? Because I have a slight weakness in my king side? He's a little ahead in development? Like that. Normally chess is very just, but I felt like the last game was sort of unjust. It's a Zuckertort Steinitz game, I think. No? This is like the first World Championship. It's totally Zuckertort Steinitz. Normally, like, this is considered kind of a not that great square. But Zuckertort, like, put the bishop on f4 and, like, stuck it on e5 or something. So what do I do? Not happy here. What would Fadaj Laszlo do? If queen b3, queen b6, I say 1,000 times. Knight e5 right away puts me in a quandary. So what am I supposed to do about that? I don't want to play like knight c6, take it, and like fix their pawn structure. There's the epic game Korchnoi Karpov, where Karpov took with the b pawn in a similar. Wasn't there some game where he took with the b pawn? Maybe I'm thinking of another game. Taking with the b pawn. There's nothing wrong with taking with the knight, though. The computer will probably say take with the knight. But this is more interesting. Stockfish is probably having a heart attack now. No, you can't do that. I mean, obviously if you take with the knight, White plays d5 and liquidates the weakness, and you take and White takes and it takes and it's super dry, and White has a theoretical advantage with the two bishops. But there's like no way in a million years Black would ever win after knight c6, d5. Unless I had to move there. I might have missed the epic knight c6, d5, knight a5. The classic. Ouch. You know, there's a lot of tactics. If you look at knight c6, d5, knight a5, d6, knight takes c4, pawn takes e7, queen takes e7. White was real close to like skewering my queen to my rook on f8, but the knight's protecting it. You have to calculate quite a bit there. But this way it's like safer. You need to stop playing the Queen's Gambit Decline. Well, it's not that you need to stop playing it, but it shouldn't be your only opening. Everyone's good at chess. Wait, what am I doing with rook a3? Let's just play this first. First things first. Okay, my knight is scrappy on d7. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Tactics. So I have knight d5. Looks kind of drawish, doesn't it? Rook a3. Wait. Yeah, there's a problem. Wait, I have rook a3, rook b3, bishop takes b4. Rook takes b4, rook takes c3. Look at those bishops. Queen a1. Our rook is sort of trapped. Almost trapped. Basically trapped. Literally trapped. That's cool, man. I'm gonna go after these two pawns. I like G-Souts. Chess is luck based. Now if I'm a pawn structure Nazi, I take with a C pawn, right? But I give white a passer here. I mean, do you really want to do that? I don't think so. This is an interesting game, strategically speaking, you know, where I keep that pawn on c6 and he has, or she has, two weaknesses. A lot to think about. I mean, if we go back to the opening, I don't think we're going to see a lot of examples with bishop d7. I think, like, Steinitz played knight c6. He probably also has games with knight d7. Sometimes people... I've even seen like the queen go out to a5, but I think that's probably more with like the bishop on g5. I mean, bishop on f4 is not that common. But now black's better. I mean, white has to seriously approach this position and think, like, how can I draw? I'm gonna try to draw. So what do you do if you want to draw? You drop the exchange. No. Just kidding. I think the answer is to, first of all, you know, the first problem is like, it's like Alcoholics Anonymous. Like, you have to admit you have a problem, right? So the first thing is you have to admit you have a problem. You're like worse, and you're willing to have a draw, right? One of the most important things about the IQP position, I think in general, is to like not get tied down to the weakness. So the move is b5. I mean, white should play b5 here, trade off weakness 1 and lose weakness 2. That's the way to play it. b5 takes, like, I don't know, bishop takes, and then queen takes d4. You're not going to lose ascending. You have 2 bishops, 3 against 4 on the king's side. Yeah, I think that b5 is a draw. That's the way white's got to play it. But the first order of business is admitting you have a problem. There's another interesting move there. c6. Probably doesn't work, but maybe. Probably doesn't work. You can't really sack a whole rook. My knight will get out on a3. I would at least pause and think about it. Pause and think about it. So what do I do now? Speaking about pausing and thinking about it, what's my move here? Bishop takes b4. I might be almost forced into it. Bishop takes b4. Bishop d2 is a problem. Interesting. Is it though? I don't know, it's weird. JBTV is so fast and has a low bullet rating. Yeah, exactly, Bijak. I think white would, it would maybe be a 100 move ending or something, but you shouldn't lose with 3 against 4 on the same side. Only in maybe a knight ending, you know? And even that would be tough. That's the point, like that structure after like b5 and these pawns are gone. I mean, losing this d4 pawn. What endings are you lost here with white, where you have like 3 against 4 on the king's side? What situation is that lost in? Maybe some, I mean, almost never, really, objectively. King and pawn in game. That's the only situation where it's actually lost, right? You know, by the way, like, does anyone have a suggestion other than bishop takes b4 in this position? Because white's threatening d5. I'm either, like, allowing d5 or I'm dropping my pawn on c6. It's really, really weird. Like, I don't see another move except for bishop takes b4. I was literally forced to play that. I don't know which pawn to move. I got a message. Sumaher, Heroku, Mule Skinner, and the last game will never fly. Guys, I'm going to try to take, you know, 1 or 2 of these games. I don't know if Mule Skinner's game will get in there. I've only got till 1:15. We have like 45 minutes left. You know, so we definitely have enough time for 2 games. We'll see about Mule Skinner. All right. Bishop takes c5. Didn't take on c5. Need to know why. On a need to know basis. I know, like, white probably just didn't take on c5 because she figured it would get pinned or something. I think you can take it. Now it's objectively lost. Like, what do I do after bishop takes c5? Bishop takes c5, queen c5, and I try to win that. But not so easy. Probably it's a win. First things first. Damn, they got such a time advantage. Are you serious? This was 10+3. Where did all my time go? Whoa. Don't play bullet, but you still play fast. Damn. Sumer, Heroku. Yeah. 2 up, you're too late. A half plus 10. Get out of here. Hey, what's up, Chess Zebra? Zebra Chess. Queen c4. The Flagmatic. This is like kind of hard to make progress, I have to say. This is pretty annoying. I'm up the exchange and a pawn. Yeah, my dark square bishop is kind of offsides. It's not doing much for the kingside defense. It's hard to break through white's position. This passed pawn needs to kind of play a role. Rollin'. Trollin' and rollin'. Damn. I really need to trade pieces. Didn't take the pawn. She panicked and didn't take the pawn. I think I was probably still winning, but it wouldn't have been that easy. I don't know, like, objectively, was this a good game? It looks like it's a good game compared to my other one. I guess we're not going to find like Zuckertort Steinitz first world championship. Bishop d7 is a novelty here. I don't think it's that bad though. It's only like incrementally worse than the normal moves, apparently. You know, here's Vallejo. He's been playing the Queen's Gambit accepted for years. Knight c6 is normal, but again, it allows... No, d5 is knight a5, right? Okay, so this is the question. Does this work? This is what I was talking about. It actually works. This has never happened in a game. That's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. That's what I'm talking about. Critical theory, and no one's ever played it. That's crazy. Unbelievable. It leads to totally equal position. e5. Dead equal. That's funny. b3 wins. No. It doesn't. It would win, but I have like rook d8 and other cool stuff. No, it's really funny that no one ever did that. That's crazy. What's even more strange, no one played d5 here. I mean, no self-respecting grandmaster like trades off his IQP trying for a draw on purpose, you know, first of all. But I'm surprised like there's no like lower rated players who did this with the white pieces there. But anyway, like bishop d7 is an interesting move. Computer wants to play this anyway. Now what? Takes, knight takes d5, knight takes d5. Doesn't seem like a big deal. Queen takes, knight c6. Fire on board. I don't know, man. That's pretty boring. But who wants to play d5? Wow, you had knight f7? I didn't think it would work. This doesn't work, does it? Now, what is wrong with my engine today? It's just not normal. I'm just kidding. You always get my bishop out to g4 in a QGA. But it wasn't a QGA, it's just a transposition. It was a kind of Scandinavian. Surprisingly, knight f6 is not played here much. Okay, so I'm supposed to play knight c6. Attack the pawn. And then play e5, right? Yeah, that's the main line. But now we're transposing back into another line of the c3 Sicilian, which I didn't really want to do. Alrighty. Next game. No, the engine looks real slow. Like my CPU is fried or something. I don't know. I've got really high ping. We're up on 120. That's strange. The other night my internet went out, and Sunday night, which it hasn't in a long time. So I'm wondering if they're having problems here. Is it real slow for some reason? Heroku. My engine. Caro-Kann with the white side. Yeah, b takes c6, the only way to play for a win with black. BTS. Let's play something fun. It's something I've never played against Sumahara before. I'm gonna turn up the fan. I hope this doesn't disturb anybody. but there's very little oxygen here in my office. You might hear a little bit of a whirlwind in the background. I'll try to speak over the whirlwind in the background. No complaining about the sound from the vortex. It's just really stuffy in here. Summer, June 1st. Mr. Coffee, good to see you, sire. Basically, we're playing the Petrov. Chessibra, my aunt on my father's side, she was really big on enunciation. It's a lost art. Ever since I was a little kid, she was like, don't forget to enunciate. She was a singer. She could sing. Guess like voice, having voice, like formal voice training. They teach you to enunciate. She graduated, I think, with a music degree, so music teaching or something like that. So she constantly reminded me about enunciation. Thanks for reminding me. In honor of my aunt. Dr. Mumble. I need to enunciate over the fan. And the sound of ambulances. No, my aunt was the only one who did music. No, I don't know why. No, her generation, I mean, it was an older generation. Mostly women were housewives. And those that did were generally encouraged to do, like, teaching. So, actually both my aunt and my mom are older. And, she ended up getting a job as a bank teller, and later a bank office manager, which is really the ideal when you have a degree in music, right? Those music degrees really they really come in handy at the bank branch. Singing teller. That's funny. She worked for like 40 years at this bank in downtown Philly. And they fired her like right before her pension kicked in. Or let her go, or whatever you call it. Nice, huh? Worked for a company for like 40 years. And like 6 months before her pension, they laid her off. This was a long time ago, but I mean, how is that even like legal? There have to be some kind of, I don't know about then, but nowadays I'm sure there'd be some kind of legal ramifications. You can't just do that to people. Before you get your full pension, they just let you go. First Pennsylvania. I don't know, remember where it was. It's probably not even First Pennsylvania anymore. Does that even exist? It was probably taken over by Bank of America or something. I don't really know the Philly banks. What am I doing here? Should I play h3? Samara, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what you're doing? Walnut Street? I don't know, man. I don't remember Philly that well. I never like spent that much time there. Citizens Bank. It probably was taken over by Citizens Bank then. First Pennsylvania. It's either taken over by Bank of America or First Pennsylvania or Citizens, right? Does this work? Why did I play that? I just dropped a pawn. It's cool. Citizens Bank Park, exactly. Whatever happened to Veterans Stadium? Veterans Stadium doesn't exist. Did they tear that down? Mr. Coffee, you live in Harrisburg, though. What was just in Harrisburg? Some election conspiracy thing? Did you go to the election conspiracy? Did you attend the election conspiracy festival in Harrisburg? Something I saw in Harrisburg. I'm just sacking a pawn. I don't care. I have compensation. Short Wednesday stream. We're going to be back tomorrow night with our subscriber stream. No, but there was something in Harrisburg, Mr. Coffee, like yesterday or the day before yesterday. There's something going on in Harrisburg. Really concrete. You know, Harrisburg's not in the news every day. In the international news. What's a pawn? Oh man, look at that. Maybe I should play bishop e3. Right. Why did I just drop my d-pawn for nothing? Handicapping. Self-handicapping. Please don't overshare your postal address. My postal address is a P.O. box. How about you, Mr. Coffee? Oh no, not the d4. Sumer, what are you doing? You lost the pawn? What the bleep? I lost a piece? Oh my god. Weird hallucination, wow. I had this hallucination. This is just stupid. Damn. It's your fault for distracting me. Man, the second game I lost Sumhair. It's on a piece. It's your fault for distracting me. Yeah, this was stupid from the beginning. Why did I play queen takes? Why did I play queen d1? The plan was to play bishop e3 here. I wasn't supposed to sacrifice my d4 pawn. But it looks like black's fine after, honestly, queen b6. Maybe not. How do I defend my pawn there? This b2 pawn. He lost the pawn, but you didn't take it? What do you mean he lost the pawn? Oh, I see. I just have to save my bishop. What is wrong with me? I mean, I'm in trouble though. I mean, I'm a dead man on the dark squares here. This is not okay. This is not okay. I'm like lost. Anyway, the whole plan was bad. It's not a one-move blunder. I don't know. I thought I had like an extra move or something. I have to let him play pawn takes f2 check, king f2, queen b6 check. It's a miracle if I'm not lost here. Like, let's say bishop b3, pawn takes pawn, king takes pawn, queen b6 check, king f1. I have to put my king on f1. Maybe that's what it was, Mr. Coffee. I thought it was some election conspiracy thing. I resign. Hung a piece. Second loss today. Even if I don't hang a piece, it's like a terrible position. Yeah, I could have traded queens though. Okay, so this isn't that bad. It's still really bad though. Isn't that bad, it's just really bad. I should be able to hold on for the draw. You would think. Against the average player. I'm a clear pawn down though, actually. I didn't realize I'm a clear pawn down. That's bad. I apologize, I'm sorry. I'm not focusing well. Too distracted. These Wednesday mornings are rough. If I'm going to play rapid, I need to focus more. Thanks to Universitate Cluj for a donation of a gift sub this week. We have Mr. Coffee, Turkey Farm, and Make PogChamps Great Again donating their life savings to the stream so I can hang pieces while not paying attention. Cure Saji's dementia. Did not sleep well last night. Excuses, excuses. Yeah, Bijak, I just hung the game against you on Sunday as well. With that one-move blunder. That was funny though. I mean, B7 was just hanging and I didn't see it. And I even could have saved the game if I had recaptured on C5 the right way. Here's an interesting move by Hiroku. It's almost like he's trying to set up knight d5. I I don't think I've ever seen that one in this position. You know what? It exists in the normal queen b6, like on move 4. If I play queen b6, they play knight b3, you play knight f6, when he plays knight c3, you play e6, and then there's like the queen e2 or whatever. It's like he's trying to do that. It's an interesting idea. Maybe it's a line. Castle queenside quickly. Yeah, maybe something to do with the Senate primary recount. Dr. Oz, carpetbagger. H6. Bishop h4, knight takes e4. Bishop takes e7, knight takes c3. B takes c, takes on e7. So h6, bishop f6, no. h6, bishop h4, knight takes e4. That's a funny tactic. There's like nothing he can do. You were reading Chigorin, Paulson, and the Sicilian Queen B6 lines. This weird position, isn't it? It's kind of weird. He has a move, maybe. Oh my god. Oh, that's brutal. Here I was thinking he had queen g4. Can you imagine he plays queen g4 and black has queen e3 check, forcing him to play bishop e2? And then I just like take on e2 with check? Wow, that doesn't help. So which way do I take it? Why do I want to play king takes e7? Because it connects my rooks? It's pretty irrational. Pretty safe. I wouldn't call it super safe. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just words. Super safe, pretty safe. Pretty safe. Fairly safe. Super safe is like on h8 with nothing like within like 20 squares of it. You can never be too safe, as they say. Too safe. I think that either move is good, though. I bet, like, if we analyze this after the game, Stockfish will be, like, almost having difficulty differentiating which is the better move. This has some nice pluses. You can go here. It stops f5. You can castle. It's a really big bonus. On the downside, the white knight can come to d4. Which is like probably the #1 reason to play king e7. You keep his knight like totally sidelined on b3. You'll just always like trade it off if it goes to d4. Alright guys, we'll skin our last game after this. Just the Wednesday stream. The good old Wednesday stream. Yeah, c4 interesting. Knight to f5. Knight f5. a5. Bishop d7. He's stopping knight d5, but I don't see how it's time for g4. G4 is... G4 is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's asking a lot, man. Did I do my game last week? Your game? I don't think you submitted a game. If I didn't, I'll do it, but there was some mystery. You didn't, like, submit a game or something. Astrobate, are you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Oh my god. Rook b1. If you submitted, I did it. You know, I have to say, like, I kind of have to lump Heroku, learning chess. Actually, learning chess and Heroku are kind of similar. Though there is one difference, that Heroku has 9,000 bullet games and 5,000 blitz games. And 1,700 rapid. His breakdown is a little better than learning chess. I still feel like there's too much bullet here, and you're playing the longer games like they're bullet. But the other thing that I noticed about Heroku, and you know, even though you're 67-3 against me, or 3-67, you're like really, really, really psycho-aggressive. I feel like you gotta tone it down. I mean, you know, you gotta, like, be more careful. Oh, I was gonna say, I wanna, like, bet on the candidates. There's a lot of, like, Hikaru fans out there. So I would be willing to bet Hikaru fans, giving them like 3-1 money odds that Hikaru doesn't win the candidates. If there's anybody out there, I'd be interested in that. I'll give 3-1 money odds that Hikaru doesn't win. You know, so I could bet you, I'd bet you $5 that if, you know, Hikaru wins the candidates, you get $15. If he doesn't win, I get $5. I'm pretty confident. I want to prove a point, you know, that this is serious chess. Streaming, chess streamers, it's not enough. Gotta take the game seriously. He can't just come off like 6 years of streaming and win the candidates. That's not happening, you know. He's good at blitz and everything, but he's not going to win this thing. It's not that I don't like him personally, but a lot of people say Hikaru is toxic. I mean, he's not as toxic as his protege, Gotham Chess or whatever. But I still don't think he has a legit shot at winning. Man, White's got compensation. Yeah, no, despicable and disgusting. I don't know what's wrong with that guy, but I think it's an act, kind of. You know, he just wants to be like the Howard Stern of. Actually, it's not fair. I kind of like Howard Stern. Who to compare him to? Yeah. What's that really obnoxious podcaster who like was denying COVID stuff? What's his name? Joe Rogan? Yeah, it's like Gotham Chess wants to be the Joe Rogan of chess. Yeah. I don't know. But Joe Rogan's not like that. I don't know who to compare him to. He's like a horrible Like the young Howard Stern, sort of. Like a mix of the young Howard Stern, whereas like every other word is like the F word. I like using bad language, but if you use it constantly, it like totally wastes it. You can't like say profanity every word. It loses its effectiveness, you know. Yeah, the guy's awful. But it's Hikaru's fault, you know. He created him. It's like a Frankenstein monster. The guy just was completely created by Hikaru. Who he was like licking his butt for like years. I guess no one else would like tolerate Hikaru, who's really arrogant. Basically no one else would like kiss up to Hikaru constantly. Be able to tolerate that, and that's what the guy did, but it paid off in the end. By licking Hikaru's butt forever, you know, now he's got his own fame. But he really has no basis for it, you know. But anyway, I tried to watch him for like a minute the other day. I just was curious if I was judging him correctly in the past. It was gross, yeah. He's really gross. What is going on with this guy? Wow. Take, there. My god, I'm gonna lose on time to Hiroku. Hiroku, you're not learning chess, are you? You're very similar. I never really put it together before. You guys seeing this? Hiroku and learning chess. Could they be the same person? It's really, really close. But learning chess plays weird openings. Man, I was in trouble here. I panicked. I have to play rook takes b5, but my rook is like endangered. I should have just played rook takes b5 and I freaked out. Look at that, he found that. And I'm losing on time. I'm almost gonna lose this. A lot of people accuse Hikaru of being toxic. He's arrogant, but he's not like toxic. You know? Hikaru's like snobby and arrogant and a little bit self-absorbed, you know, but at least he's a great player, so there's sort of like some justification for it, you know, but for some random guy to be like that is weird. It's just an act. It's like he's playing a character or something, I guess. He's become a character. Great rook on a7. Really, I almost like lost this. I'm trying to figure out like who learning chess was. There is quite a bit of similarity here. Whoa. What is that? He's so fast. He's never flagged me before. I missed 94 check. No, I'm alright now. I missed knight d4 check. I'm sure that I was close to lost, but I always had like two pawns for the... I had two pawns for the exchange, so it's possible I wasn't completely lost. I just panicked in time pressure. There was no reason to do that. I gotta lose one of these pawns. Pick a pawn. Any pawn. Pick a pawn. Any pawn. Peter picked a pawn. It's alright. We got it under control. That was close. He had rook takes a5. I don't think it was a big deal. Yeah. But the problems were earlier. I should have just taken on b5 and put my rook on a8 and lived with it. The way I played it was dumb. Now we're winning. That was kind of a narrow escape. That was not the way that was supposed to go down. Very, very close. Now he's still going for the win. Tricky guy. Four connectors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Connect 4. Connect 4 has been called. I hate to mess it up. Man, am I lost? I bet I'm like lost after I gave him the exchange for no reason. I'm playing horribly today. I was totally lost. There's just no reason to do that. Here, he got me in an awkward spot. There's no way to defend my rook. My rook is like trapped there. But I have to take on b5. Like, what other move is there? I was panicking because here, I'm thinking, okay, my rook is like boxed in and I'm tied down to b7. But I mean, it's not that bad if you think about it. He only has one passed pawn. The pawn here is protected for now. And actually, it's not that easy for his knight. His knight has to get in there. So I guess I play like knight d4. Stopping him from coming there. It's inconvenient, yes, but I'm not like losing. This is insane. I did knight c6. Was it here? No. Okay, not knight c6. I did rook takes c4. So at first, it doesn't look like it's losing. It's like negative 1.9, then it starts going up and up and up. Yeah. Wow, he had rook takes b7. So that was actually better. Rook a8. I'm lost here. Okay, last game. No, it's like popularity with 12-year-olds. You know, most of the people who watch my stream tend to be adults. More mature. We have kids that watch the stream, obviously. But I'm popular with adults. We try to focus more. For some reason, like 12-year-olds, like obnoxious people. I guess they're good role models. Yeah, alright, Arsenal fan and Bob don't count. They love watching rude YouTubers insult people. Exactly. I hope not. So bishop d3, d6. This is like a move 11 game. Was it Muleskinner move 11? Are we following Muleskinner move 11? Well, there's a big difference between 9 years old and 12, I guess. But, I mean, my kids are like 11 and 13, so I know something about this age range. But I don't think they would ever like watch someone that obnoxious and enjoy it. So bishop takes d4 checks even a move, huh? Who had a game where speaking of 70s and 80s nostalgia, I was watching Stranger Things, which is, supposed to be like, okay, it's supposed to be like 1984. So interesting, funny thing was, one of the props from the movie, like the bed sheets from Stranger Things season 2 or season 1, I guess, were actually I had like the same bed sheets in 1990 in my college dorm. I bought. So their props are a little bit off, They've got like 1990 era bed sheets in 1984. They were like these white sheets with like these geometric shapes on them. Definitely not 1984. It's funny though, if you look at movies that try to recreate, if you look at movies that try to recreate the 80s, I think it's particularly interesting. They get a lot of stuff right, but they get a lot of stuff wrong, especially with clothes. There's a big difference between 1984 and 1990 in terms of style and fashion and stuff. Your thing. Yeah, my sarcasm. You think? That's appreciated. Well, maybe that's the problem, that everyone's famous. Nothing ever went wrong with like people that have like celebrity parents, right? I didn't have any like famous celebrities in my family. We're just average people. Although I am supposedly related to Abraham Lincoln. Little known fact. Distantly related to Abraham Lincoln. My friends would never believe me. They're like, you made that up. Try to tell your school chums that you're related to Abraham Lincoln. They get jealous and they're like, no, you made that up. Like, why would I make something like that up? Is that a flex, though? What's up, WJ Luke? I guess it is kind of a flex, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just a small chess streamer who does it for the passion of chess. Muleskinner is taking my pawn away. But I decided I don't freaking care. It's just a double pawn. It's a new idea. I'm sacrificing the pawn. But sir, why did you take with the pawn? Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe he should have taken with the knight. We'll have a look after the game. This was a totally intuitive sacrifice by me. Very likely it's not sound. Well, it's like millions of people play bullet chess. They don't want to think. That's why they play bullet chess and not blitz. I mean, I guess... Okay, I mean, yesterday we had... I hosted a rapid tournament. Chess Ibra, we had 30 players, like 50 viewers, and the tournament took 3.5 hours to play 5 games. Not everyone is that invested, can be that invested. Knight g4, what is wrong with this move? Isn't white just in trouble here? Morning stream. Asterbate, what would Asterbate play? Yeah, he's misplaying this. But it's not true that I never do. I sometimes nag for subs. I hate begging. I used to play blitz chess for money in Harvard Square. Even that, you know, made me feel like a panhandler. But my focus has never really been on making money from streaming. Maybe it should be from a financial standpoint. Alright, bishop c2. For the love of money. This is my last game, guys. I gotta go. I can't take any more challenges. We're already over schedule. Last game, I gotta leave on the half hour. This bishop, though. Bishop, sir. It's nice on b7. But at the same time, it guards this diagonal, which makes it kind of tricky to decide where to put it. I thank you for your regular support, everybody. Please, please subscribe. And tomorrow night we're hosting a subscriber stream where we're going over games. We have room for like 5 more subscriber submissions for tomorrow night's analysis stream. Sir, is my queen gonna get trapped in mid-board? F5 is the classic Grand Prix attack. The classic Grand Prix attack vibe, but I have boom. This d5 is gonna break through. If he plays f5, I have d5. I gotta watch queen e2. I mean knight e2. Knight e2, nasty. But I have queen c5 there, hitting his bishop on c2 actually. So that's handy. Kapling. So it's all been planned in advance. If knight e2, queen c5, and I'm crashing the party in the center here. Now we can sack the exchange. Rook takes c2. Worst case scenario. It is kind of sad though, that's nothing. Rook c2, queen c2, knight e4, knight e4, bishop e4. Nothing special. So He's also threatening e5. I mean, maybe it's like better to do rook takes c2 from a defensive standpoint. It's a really passive bishop here, but it could get to b3. I just don't really have any threats now. What am I supposed to do? Rook d8 does nothing. It weakens my f7. I have nowhere to go. h5. Wow. Extreme chess moves. h5. That's walking right into e5. Virtual suicide. h5, e5, h5, h5, the h5, e5, h4, pawn takes f6, pawn takes g3. Crazy. Alright, just for fun. Oh no. I didn't count on that. But what does that do? Oh, you have that. You have that move. Progeny. Come on. h3. He's gonna flag me. Rook takes f6. That's kind of hope chessy mate though. I've got to cooperate and take your knight on h5. What? He's asking for trouble here. There's your hope chess. We got lucky there. Playing for cheapos. I am lucky to win. I played very sloppy today. This game is already analyzed. I don't know, what was I better? I was better. But not winning or anything. Agnes Karajewski gifted a tier 1 sub to Karavalma. So h5 is like dubious, but I didn't know what to play. I mean, I could sack the exchange. Honestly, this, in a weird way, was like the safest move. It just seemed weird to sacrifice the exchange for that awful knight on g3. I definitely have enough compensation. I gotta go, guys. Yeah, so this is better for black. This... What is my mouse doing? Dude, it's scrolling. It won't stop. Stop. Yeah, so rook takes c2 was the best move. b4 I didn't consider. I mean, this I considered, but I didn't see what that does other than, like, weaken the f7 square. I don't know, man. If this is a tournament game, I would probably sack the rook on c2. I have no risk of losing whatsoever, and I have practical chances to win. You know, but I decided, because I've done this in other similar positions, to try h5. I underestimated this. I was really hoping you'd let me like push h4. Like e5. My fantasy was this variation. e5, h4, e takes f6, takes. I had some fantasy I was winning here, yeah. See, it's made. Computer didn't even see it at first. Dude, the ambulances are just too much, man. See, even the engine didn't appreciate this variation. Though the h5 has precedence, you know, it has what's the legal word for it? It's known in this other line. The h5 idea is known. So it would be like in this variation, bishop d3, d6, castles. Is this right? No. Takes, knight e2, knight f6, castles, say like c3, d takes c3, d takes c3, b5, knight g3. I swear it was like h5 in one of these positions. It's a line. It's always a thing against the knight on g3. It's not this exact position though. Somehow I got it slightly wrong. Maybe knight g3 without c3. I don't know which position it was. There was a concrete variation where black does h5 and h4. The seagrass. Actually, there was a big article about seagrass in Australia. There's like a huge mass of seagrass they didn't know existed somewhere in Australia. The seagrass. This is crazy though. I played a pawn sack. Wow. Guys, look at this novelty. Castle's theoretical novelty. Is that important? Just like leaving the d4 pawn hanging. Wow. Castle's theoretical novelty. But I guess Mule Skinner has to take with a knight on d4. This is the real radical question. I have to play e5, and I'm seriously down a pawn here. But the computer thinks that black is compensation. The Slaggy Gambit Grand Prix attack. Slaggy Gambit variation. Knight f3. Queen b6 check. King h1. Feel the compensation. It does look a little sketchy. If that center starts rolling, I'm in trouble. Wow, it's like a king's gambit. This is nuts. h4 for white. No queen b6. Well, not in this line. In the other line? Oh, e5 right away? Uh-huh. No. Queen b6 first, you like? This doesn't work. Stockfish doesn't like CD4 on my engine, but it's very weak. I don't know. My processor sucks. So it's completely possible that CD is better. It's just kind of funny that no one's played it in over the board games. In 102 games, no one's ever played Castles. 102 master games. In the Lichess database, I bet there are games. It's been played 5 times. And like all of them are above 2,200 players. I think mostly it's just people like automatically making a move without thinking. Everyone played knight takes d4 except for Mule Skinner. Because his engine said to take with the pawn. Wow, e5. Are these guys computers? Probably not. F takes e5. Black won every game. Man. Yeah, it's really interesting. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night with a subscriber stream. We'll see you tomorrow night, 6:30 CEST. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to our regular Mr. Coffee. And we'll have the hot tub stream tomorrow night. Bye-bye.